Hey, there we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be where you are out there. How's it going?
Greetings, my excellent friend.
Greetings, my excellent friends. My name is Jeff Fritz. Today is March 11th, 2020, and we're going to write a little bit of code today. How's it going, chat room? Boom Boom is here. Gareth, hello. Good day. I'm doing pretty good. Thanks so much for asking. Let's see. DomFX, good morning. Hello, welcome in. Eternal Dev Coder is here. T Pro Senior, something to do while waiting for the sprint to officially begin. Yeah, tune in, hang out. We'll have a good time together. We'll chat, discuss some of the things going on in technology, things going on in the world. It's so good to have all of you tuning in. I'm wearing my Penn State hat today. They've got some teams they're trying to get into some esports tournaments, so I want to show some support to my school I graduated from here. We're even going to write some code, yes. Hey, Curious Drive is here. Who just joined us? That's Farnsey. Welcome in, Farnsey. Hello, hello. Johan, good morning. Hello. So we spent some time yesterday working on some things. Space Shot is here.
Space Shot just resubscribed for 17 months. They're getting into some P-Sports tournaments too.
P-Sports. Hey, how's it going? Thank you so much for that resub. 17 months of support. And we'll make a donation to code.org. All of our subs, all of our cheers, all month long, all quarter long, we're donating to code.org. Thank you so much. Yep. Penn State will be in the NCAA basketball tournament and the hockey tournament, it looks like. They have to get out of the Big Ten tournament. We'll see. It should be able to do that, but Big Ten tournament for hockey is really tough. Notre Dame is not to be taken lightly. Isn't the sprint always on? That's kind of the point of Agile. A little bit. D.D. Walsh is here. Right there. Good morning. So good to see you, my friend. I got a meeting request to talk to Dee Dee this afternoon, and I have a feeling shenanigans are in order. All the shenanigans, all the time, all the things, and there won't be a donut to be seen anywhere. I don't know how we're going to be able to contain ourselves. It's going to be crazy, right? Because I can't respond to that. I can't. I'm trying to find the appropriate... yeah, it's too long. Big shenanigans planned. It's going to be amazing. We need downloadable donuts. Downloadable 3D printed donuts. That's got to be a thing. Musical Bookworm, good to see you. Good morning. Dom FX won the Madrina's Coffee giveaway. Yes! That's awesome. D.D. Walsh with 100 bits. Thank you so much. But congratulations, Dom, on winning the giveaway. Yeah, the Madrina's Coffee's been really nice. I've enjoyed it the past month or so that we've been drinking it here on stream. Enjoy it. Microsoft Virtual Events, in Jeff we trust. Maybe not. I don't know. I haven't been told that I haven't been told that they'd like me to run their virtual events. That's okay. I've got others that I'm running instead. You're going to see an announcement here over the next day. Our stream team, the Live Coders, we're going to be hosting a live video conference right here on Twitch. I'll have it hosted over here, but it'll be on another yet to be named channel. But you're going to see an official announcement from the stream team. A lot of folks in the stream team working on this together. And we want to put our best foot forward and show that we have some of the best folks in the industry, in the technology industry, working on this stream team. That Twitch as a platform for folks to learn on, tune in, and have a good time. Get some deep technical knowledge. We're going to put on a conference coming up here, and you're going to see an official announcement go out on Twitter, on all the various mediums coming up very, very soon. Well, that's your talk rejected, Gareth. We're gonna have a good spread, a nice selection of folks for this first one that we're gonna try. It's an experiment. We'll see if it works. If it works out, we've got bigger plans for what we could do in the months ahead. But we're gonna put our best foot forward here. It is going to be awesome, and we want to have everybody get an opportunity to speak at these. We're gonna lay something down. The Stream Dream Team, yes, and that answer is entirely wrong. Fritz bot, we need to fix that. Yes, there's the information about the Live Coders team. So let me get some music playing here in the background, and we'll talk about what I want to accomplish today, because I want to do a little bit of coding, a little bit of sample work and a little bit of documentation that I think is going to help us out and get this project moving in the right direction that we want it to get to. So let me start some music today. This is called Judson. This is funky music to code by our friend Mr. Carl Franklin. It's scientifically designed. It's engineered to get you in the flow, get you in the groove, so that whatever task it is you're working on, you can focus on and just get stuff done. Check it out, mtcb.pwop.com, or you can execute the music command in the chat room and get your copy today. What mischief? Look who's here.
There can be only one.
And it's Fava Blount. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining us. You know what? Let me do something here real quick. Can I do something real quick? Let me do something here. We're going to throw a VIP over there to Gareth. Thank you so much for your help. He's another member of the Live Coders team. Make sure you check out his channel as well. Okay, so I've got three things that I want to accomplish today. First, I want to go back and talk about what we were doing with parent components in Blazor. We were trying to get this affect this feature of a component is within another component, so you have this concept of a parent component that we're trying to manage and be able to get that reference so we can pass information back and forth between components, including and especially for our button component we've been building. When a button has a command that fires, that command needs to bubble up to the parent components and notify that, hey, this happened. If you're listening for the command to be triggered, go do something with it. And particularly the scenario that we've run into here is we have a command button inside of a form, and that command says change to add mode or change to edit mode, and that command needs to bubble up to the form so the form changes modes appropriately. That interaction between components, that communication, we need to be able to build and construct. So this reference to be able to bubble that event out, right? Bubble, we're raising it up to the containing, to the parent components. That's an important interaction that we need to deliver with Blazor. You're very welcome, Gareth. Well deserved. And I should have done it earlier. I'm getting a little green screen reflection on my gunner glasses here. That'll go away when we change cameras here in a second. Second thing that I want to do is I want to go back to, there's a demo project that goes along with the ebook I've been writing that goes with this. That demo project is called the eShop on Blazor. It's a very simple application, but it's an application that we migrated as part of writing the book. You haven't seen it on stream here, but we migrated from ASP.NET Web Forms to Blazor. And I have a version of this that works with the Blazor components we've been building on stream. I want to tune that just a little bit further so that it uses some of the new syntax we built and show just how much reuse you can get out of the existing web forms markup with our components to prove out and show, look at how much you can reuse without needing to rewrite. Frago, hello, welcome in. So that's the second thing that I want to accomplish today. And the third thing is writing a little bit of documentation around that so that we calculate, here's how much code is reused and how much you need to change. And the goal, I think we can get above 80% easily. 80% code reuse on the one or two pages that I'm focusing on. My goal is to get over 90%, and if we can cross 95% code reuse, oh man, it's going to be, it's going to really make the point that we've had as developers, as contributors to this project on stream, that you don't need to rewrite a lot of your code, and you can reuse a lot of it effectively. So that's the goal. That's where we're going to go. Could I provide info on the glasses for the stream noob? T-Pro Senior. So these are gunner glasses. They're intended to block blue light that you get from your displays. I have 3 different lights here on me in my home studio, my home office. So I'm looking at a lot of screens all day today, throughout the day. You can find out more information about the Gunner glasses that will prevent your eyes from getting that strain. There's a link just below to Gunner's website. You click through there, and there's a coupon code. I believe the coupon code is C#. I don't have a Gunner command. I need a Gunner command. You'll get, I believe it's either 10 or 20% off on your order if you order a pair of glasses there. So, hey, thank you, Gareth. Yep. So these are an older pair that I've had for a while. There's some newer pairs that are available that are really nice, very stylish. These are very wiry, and they have a Heroes of the Storm theme on them. So you're welcome, T-Pro. Best of luck to you. As a developer, as somebody who's in the technical industry, whether it's software development, systems administration, I don't care what you're doing. If you're staring at a screen all day, and you're working on a workstation all day, there's 3 things that I want to protect: my eyes and my hands. Problem happens to one of those 3 things, we got a real problem. So I'm going to protect my eyes. Fortunately, I haven't had any issues with carpal tunnel. I've broken my hands several times, and I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing, but I've never developed carpal tunnel in my hands, like some of my colleagues that work with wrist braces. I fortunately haven't had that kind of a problem, but I'm always looking out for my eyes. Unhip Coder, hello. So let's head over to the project where I'm running in Linux here. These are some of the pages that we had open from yesterday. Let me close some of these down. There's an update that was released for Blazor WebAssembly. No, we're not working on the TreeNode class. And we don't need to look at the TMUX cheat sheet. There was an update that was released for Blazor WebAssembly that we can take a look at. We should probably do that update. Apply the Blazor WebAssembly 3.2 preview to update. So our sample project that we have, we should probably update so that it uses this new version. There it is. An article from our friend Dan Roth. There he is. But there's a new version of this, and it includes a bunch of stuff here. Token-based authentication, improved framework caching, linker configuration, and PWA capabilities. But there's a bunch of code that needs to be changed because they changed some of the namespaces. I want to do this, but I have to get to that documentation thing today. I actually have a presentation this afternoon to deliver, and I want to make sure that I land that properly. So, with respect, chat room, I want to do this tomorrow because this only affects one of our sample projects. And certainly, certainly this is something that somebody can pick up and run with. I'm going to provide a link to this with the issue to get this updated, right? To get our sample project updated. Let's do this. Add over here. Update the after Blazor client side sample project with this version of the WebAssembly references and features. More information. Yep, on the team blog post let's put a label on this. This is an enhancement. This is documentation and samples. So this is something that somebody should be able to pick up and run with if you'd like. If nobody wants to run with this over the next day, that's okay. I'll I'll do this tomorrow on stream. Even if somebody does take this, we'll review the PR tomorrow on stream and see exactly how we had to update the project. Boom Boom says, can't stand tinted glasses. Oh, I'm sorry. Something about changing the colors of the surrounding environment that bothers you to the core. It'll bother you at first. After 5 minutes or so of looking through it, you won't even notice. The tinting kind of doesn't affect you, and you won't notice it after a while. It's definitely something that you become accustomed to. So, do I really feel the benefits of having the glasses? So when I stream for a long time, so you'll typically see me here for 2 hours in my morning. But I've been on and using my PC, prepping and doing some other things, emails and other paperwork, other things that need to be done for work, for about 2 hours before we started. So I'm about 4 hours, 5 hours into my day by the time that the stream ends, and I'll go into a couple meetings, and I'm staring at a screen because I'm talking to colleagues. I'll have such eye fatigue at the end of that I'll want to take a nap. It's just mentally draining, all that stuff, and my eyes are just tired. They don't. So wearing the glasses, I can go a bit longer, and I don't have as much of a problem. What effect in dark mode? Yeah, dark mode definitely helps as well. You've seen, I'm not in dark mode per se here when I'm doing a lot of the work here, but we do use a darker themed terminal. So, I just got a tweet. So our friends Eagle Hansen and Mr. Magoo I was talking to them this morning about this issue right here, right? This is the parent component access. And this helps with creating IDs and passing data between components. I just got a notification of a tweet that Mr. Magoo figured out what we were doing wrong in our blog post. So in our code here, so we'll see what Mr. Magoo has for us. Clark IO is here. Oh my goodness. He's gonna make the chat room so much better. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yes, coffee. Absolutely. Enjoy a little bit of coffee. I've got some cold brew. This is vanilla cappuccino, of course, with me today. I've got like 2 cases of this at home. At home? Here. I'm at home. Of course I'm at home. So we'll be drinking this for a while. Oh yeah. So Clark IO is another member of the Live Coders team, and yeah. You like this chat room, Curious Drive? I do too. Otherwise, we're gonna have to throw everybody out and start over, and I don't think I want to do that. That's a thing. Okay. Let me see here. So, oh my gosh, Clark IO. Thank you so much for those 500 bits. We'll make a donation to code.org. Thank you very much. So I do a thing with my follower notifications here. You may have seen this, and Imad Ashi on Twitter just sent this along. Well played, he says. Hey, you on your phone, tuned to for Minimal March with Jeff writing C# on Linux. See that? I know you're on your phone and you're getting these messages. I know this. I can see you. So there's definitely a little bit of that. Thank you so much for once again for that cheer, for all the cheers, all the subs. We're donating. We're going to help code.org, and they're helping kids in schools adjust their curriculum so they can. Oh my goodness!
Developers Garage just gifted 5 subs.
We're going to make 5 more donations. Thank you so much, Developers Garage. They're another member of the Live Coders team. Code.org is helping students, schools, Svava with 100 bits. Oh, did we trigger? We did. We triggered the hype train. All right. And we want to make sure that our kids in schools get an opportunity to learn about technology, learn about software. And I think we need to go to party mode here for a little bit, do we? Do we need to do that? Make sure you follow Developers Garage. They're another member of the team. Look at that hype train. 4.5 minutes left to get through level 2. No, don't do party mode. Gift subs have to be worth party mode. I think we need to do a little party mode. It's okay. We can do that and have some fun here. I think it's funny how some people are like, yes, do party mode. And others are like, no, don't do it. Oh my goodness. All right, we'll lay off party mode for a bit. Oh my goodness, look at this. It's being debated. All right, so I'm gonna hold off for just a little bit and see if we can get this pull request in from Mr. Magoo on this, because this is the first thing that I wanted to talk about. Run a poll with the bot. Well, we can run a poll directly in here, we'll do a new poll. There, we'll do this. Party mode.
Let me add some value.
Jean Valjean with 100 bits. Thank you so much.
Smile.
Oh yes, I'm smiling. All right. Thank you so much for that. We all know each other here. And you're wondering what party mode is. Oh, no, they don't work on mobile. You're right. And I'll tell you what, I'll have this run for 1 minute. There we go. Start the poll. And I'll pop out the results so I can see. Keep an eye on what's going on there. It's not a replacement to wear the Blazor when working on Blazor. Well, no, that's absolutely a thing. We wear the Blazor because it's just magical. Yeah, it's a shame that the Twitch polls don't work on mobile, but they're easy for me to light up here. I think we're doing a little bit of party mode. I think it's gonna happen. Let's see, we're gonna turn this on, turn that off. Here it comes. You're having a problem with GPG uploading that? Fantastic. Not that you're having a problem with GPG, but that we're gonna upload. Very cool. Yep, here we go, friends. Let's do it. It's that time. Gotta do a little bit of party mode. Who doesn't like 5 minutes of party mode, right? It's a thing. Heck yeah. There we go. PR created. Thank you, Mr. Magoo. Oh yeah. So, welcome into the party. This is party mode. And we're gonna have some fun with this. It's only 5 minutes, and I even put a little timer there for you. So Mr. Magoo figured out what we were doing wrong here to get the cascading parent. I'm looking for this. Gotta get some lights going too. Clark.io knows about cool lights on stream. You gotta check it out over there on his channel. It's really cool. How annoying. Come on now. It's a little bit fun. So just for a few minutes, might delete the PR. Gotta hurry up. Let me go get it. Let's see here. So we have a custom component base is where Mr. Magoo is pointing. And oh, look at this. Redirecting and not building directly. So the challenge we're running into is we're trying to get every component to wrap, to have a cascading value pass the parent into the child. So you have this cascading value object So it's inheriting from another component base, custom component base. Hype train complete. Thank you so much, friends. Appreciate that. Piece of pizza.
Peace_a_pizza just resubscribed for 10 months.
Thank you so much. Appreciate those 10 months of support. That's going to keep you in a green hat. And we're going to make another donation to code.org. Custom component base. Keep these in. Okay. This is an I component. I handle event. I handle after render. Oh, what did you do? Build render tree. Okay. On initialized async. On parameter set. So these are the standard things that you have in a Blazor component. The standard events, the standard methods. State has changed. This looks pretty garden variety. Checking to see if it should render. Trigger that render. Okay. Yeah, should it render? On after render. Interesting. Okay. Because we may want to handle what happens after it renders. Okay, call state has changed. Interesting. Thank you for the follow. Is that Rishi Coder? Welcome in. All pretty standard. Just setting up a different component base. That is a component. And does this work? Did it build properly? So, how do we look? And it passed our test. So we had a test in play yesterday that inspected and went to see, did we have the parent passed along? It's a direct copy of component base with render fragment set internal. Which part is set internal? This one. So we can get to it and interact with it right there. Internal or protected? Maybe protected in internal? Maybe. Very cool. Thank you so much. That's the end of the timer. We'll turn off. And go back to regular me. Right? There we go. Looks good. I mean, it built, it satisfied our issue here. Thank you so much. That will address the issue that we had. And now we have the ability to reference parent objects. Oh, come on. Now we'll be able to reference parent objects. So this is, right. Thank you for your help in addressing, and I think it was 112. Yeah. And there we go. So that got merged into the feature button branch that we were working on. So now if I go back over to my terminal, right, I'm going to pull in those changes. There it is. This should restart, or there it goes. Now it's restarting. This is the web server that's running our samples, so we should be able to see that. You have to write a design document for work. Well, thank you so much for your help, Blazor, Mr. Magoo. I really appreciate you chiming in on that and adding that redirection. That was a big help to resolve this issue and move the project forward. Thank you very much. There we go. So now I should be able to go back over to Firefox, refresh this, and now that works. If I go over to the button, well, I still have to work through why this click operation isn't quite working properly. But we have that parent interaction working, And it even ran all of our tests while we weren't looking here, and we got all of the tests running properly. See, it was failing up here. We had that pull request come in, merged, and now all of our tests run properly here in Linux. And we're working in Linux. We're working with a text editor all month long, so that we can show off that you don't need a lot of tools, a lot of features in order to write .NET Core code. You can have a minimal approach. You don't have to be Microsoft front, back, the whole way through. Choose the tools that make you happy and build with them, because there's a tremendous set of command line features that you can work with Blazor, with inside of containers. Here in Linux, your choice. Use what makes you happy. So I'm still looking at this, and that button click isn't quite working the way that I thought we had it working. If I go back over here, it is calling state has changed, the command has fired. Let's take a look at that sample real quick. Samples after Blazor server side is the project, because this is running on server side Blazor. And I want to go into pages. What? Where is it? Control samples. That's what I called it. And it's the button. There it is. Vim index Razor. All right. So we have the on click. I've been clicked. There's the on command, and it should be saying command args.command name. We had this working. Have a good one, Gareth. Thanks so much for joining us. So, it should. Right, and we had some weirdness around this as well. Let me get rid of these 5 lines. Nope, 6. So there is an on command. Oh, we didn't want to have to include this state has changed here. Right? So it's going to rebuild and relaunch the server here. Should be quick. Should be. There it goes. And I'll relaunch over here. And yeah, now it is working. So the issue that we need to address is, yes, there you go, Hisham. Jump on that one. I'm gonna put an issue in here because I don't want to address it right now, because I want to move on to working on this demo script that we're going to show at a meeting later today, and make sure that I get that done, and we'll come back to this issue later. But I want to record it so we can address it, and maybe somebody else can pick it up. I don't know. Command button should not need a state has changed. Should trigger state has changed when on command runs, right? Something like that. Trigger should be a lower T. See the what is it? After Blazor server side sample project in the button index Razor file sample demo. It should not require the call to state has changed. In the on command event handler to update the UI. So I'm going to mark that as a bug. That's something that needs to be fixed. It is, and I'll mark it as help wanted also. Why didn't it? I thought I marked you as bug. Thank you. All right. So, simple issue out there that we need to address. Anybody can take a look at that, but this is something that I'm not going to work on today. I want to make sure that folks know about this and can take a look at it. And hopefully, if you don't address it, I'll take a look at this tomorrow, but it's out there. And if you do submit a fix to it, we'll put your name up top on the crawl. Just like, there you go, there's Gareth up there. It should update once we get a couple, it takes every 5-10 minutes, the GitHub stuff updates up there. So top all time there you see Kabazi, Gareth, Hisham, Eagle Hansen, Code DJ, and when this gets promoted up, I think is when you'll see this update from Blazor Mr. Magoo getting in there. Actually, Blazor Mr. Magoo gave us a bunch of things. I don't know why he's not on the top all time up there. Should be up there. So, but very interesting to do that redirect of interaction. All right. Let me show you what I'm doing as far as this sample. Absolutely, Blazor Mr. Magoo should be up there. It's automatically calculated based on the contributors to the project. So if I go back to here and I look at the contributors, right? So there's me, Kabazi, Gareth, Hisham. For some reason, he's not listed here, and I don't know why. It absolutely should be here, but I don't get it. No. Issue templates. We need an issue template. Pull request template. Yeah. But I don't know why. Right? If I look at the commits, right? There's Hisham. There's Eagle. Gareth. A lot of me in here. There should be. And Kabazi. Is it because I've done squash and merge here? January, there was, right? I don't know why they're not here. Interesting. This commit isn't in master, but I think there were other commits on the list view that he helped with, right? Like, if we go up here and we look at, right, if I go to source, I don't have the tree installed here. And we go to list view. Yeah. And see, look, he's right there. As a contributor, he's listed, but he's not listed. So it feels like there's a GitHub thing happening there, where it's not showing. It's showing a contributor, but it's not showing them as a contributor. Because if I turn blame on, right there's right. So I'm not quite sure. Graham Weldon is here. Hello. You are not a shadow, Mr. Magoo. You have done tremendous help for this project. I can't thank you enough. Tremendous insight you've been able to share with us. So I'm going to exit out of Ubuntu here, and I want to talk about. I was going to be using that. I want to talk about the demo that we're going to. You may have seen me give this demo as part of .NET Conf. But to show how little you need to change in order to continue using your web forms technology, your web forms markup, as we go from ASP.NET Web Forms to Blazor. I'm trying to get on the left side, and I have to be in Windows for this because it's web forms. On the left side here is my web forms version of it's a list view here. Let me show you. So let me start that version of the project. I've got two projects here. I'm sharing data across. And I think we can simplify this a little bit and show just how much we can reuse. And hopefully that encourages folks to say, yes, we want to make this a little bit more of a thing. So, encourages folks, you know, folks like, right? Or no, maybe it's, yeah, one of them. Lucky number 7 is here as well. Hello. So this is the web forms version of the page. And I mean, it's a simple list view, right? That's why one of the reasons why we targeted list view with the first component that we wrote. Yeah, him. So the default ASPX page for that is really simple, right? We've got a content placeholder. We've got a div for the table that we're presenting with a link up at the top that says create new, right? This is a standard sample that Microsoft makes available. You can find it in the docs under the architecture segment over there. But it's a run at server, href. Now we use route URL, route name over here. That's an ASP.NET thing, but this is kind of messy. We don't really need that. We can just do catalog create, right? I mean, it's a URL reference, no big deal. Classes are the same going across. Text for the button is the same. And here's where, right, here's the impact, is list view, right? List view is identical. Instead of it being an ID, it's a ref. Item placeholder is identical. Run at, I copied it across just so we didn't remove it, but it's ignored. Item type is exactly the same, except I should make it the full. I should make it the full name there, so I have, so that the code change isn't as great, right? Who is lucky, or is it Slevin? It's lucky number Slevin, that's who it is. Setting the fields to internal, is that something that might be incorporated into Blazor, or is this just not standard way to do it? Asks Johan. Let me put that up on the screen, because this is, let me make sure I highlight this. I'm going to back up just a second here, go back over to Ubuntu. The change that was, that we just took in, let me show you. Come on. This change to make that field internal. This is something that we were able to abuse, if you will, because it's open source. Mr. Magoo copied the source code from the original component and grabbed that render fragment that in the original source code is private and made it available so that we could change it in our custom component base. So I wonder if we should have some sort of a, but because he changed it to internal inside of our component, we are then able to wrap it with, here's what I want it to do. So standard render does this, but the render fragment that we want to have a cascading value that is the parent component, this child, and the child content is whatever it was going to render standardly. So I don't think this is something that might be incorporated into Blazor. Maybe. I could see there being an event handler or something that we might be able to do there. I don't think we would push it back to them. It's a discussion we could have with some of their folks and see if maybe formalizing this into some sort of an abstract or a virtual method might make sense so that you could wrap the builder. It's not terrible, but I'm not sure this is something they want to support. But great insight from Blazor Mr. Magoo on that. So I made sure empty data template, going back over here to the demo and make sure that these things match. Empty data template is the same. I have to define this context on the project. A good VS Code extension for Razor components. Good question from Curious Drive. Razor components, Blazor development. The C# extension for Visual Studio Code should help you with that. It's not perfect. It's growing. It's getting better. But that's the one that the .NET team wants you to be able to use. There might be others out there that help a little bit, but the C# extension should handle that. So right now, going into this list view, I've only changed @ref and added this context. This is identical. This was added, so we have a context for where to place our content. I'd love to default this, but it's not there yet. And instead of having ASP placeholder, all this stuff, it's item placeholder. This is another feature that Mr. Magoo helped us with, the layout template wrapping the actual code for this. Now, here's where I think I might be able to cheat a little bit because of a feature we just recently added. Item template. I'm trying to get these, make sure these line up. Image class source, and you see here it's pics, and then we data bind item picture file name. So I do something similar here, so it's not quite the same. I could probably make it a little bit closer to the same, right? Can I change this to something like right? I could do that, right? And that'll work, right? I can make that, yeah. So I've still got item dot picture file name. Now it really matches. And that's the kind of thing that I'm looking at here, right? And I've changed my formatting on the paragraphs here. Remove the parenthesis at the end. Is there? Ooh, thank you. Thank you. Good call. That's some pair programming. Johan calling out that I forgot the parenthesis quotes on the end. Thank you so much, Johan. Very much appreciate that. We need to give some coins to Johan. There we go. Use them everywhere that virtual stream coins are accepted. So this is doing data binding for all of these, and in Razor we change it to just an @ sign, and we get the same feature. Item price here, yeah. Item picture file name, item available in stock. These are all the same. I look down here, and we have a hyperlink feature here that we turn into just an A. Should we have a hyperlink component? It is possible via reflection to set that render fragment. Ooh, Blazor Mr. Magoo. That would be a better way to do it. Hang on, let me put this up on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. Those of you in YouTube watching the recording. It may be possible to set that render fragment we were looking at earlier with reflection. Yeah. That would definitely do it. And eliminate a class for us to inherit. Let's see if we can optimize that. Johan asks, any reason for the P tag in the TDs? No. Formatting, get it to center, could definitely be removed. I'm going to leave it there though, because that's the way the canonical sample is, and I want to make sure that I mirror it as much as possible, right? If I remove those P tags, we've changed it, and the more code that we have that's the same, the better our percentage of code match when we go and try and figure out how much did we actually have to modify between these two, right? I want this to look as similar to web forms as possible. You know why? Because
it can be done exactly how I want it.
It can.
The only question is, are you the man to do it?
Darn Skippy, I'm the right man to do it. I've been working here with this fantastic community, and we've been building and adding these features slowly, carefully, and they work. They work great. I think we need a hyperlink component though, just to make these ones go away? I think we do. Do I try and build one real quick and put that into the mix? Because if I put the, well, let's table that. Let's think about that for a second. Hilltop Soft says, well, and then we're going to look at the code just below. You can see it here, where it actually does the binding. I want to get that as identical as possible. But Hilltop Soft has a comment for us here. Let me see. Hilltop Soft says, thinking back to the missing contributor stats on GitHub. GitHub contributors are only shown for the default Git branch. Local Git commit email of the contributor must match the GitHub account email address. Really? But so I get what you're saying, Hilltop Soft, but we did see Blazor Mr. Magoo and his account pop up when we looked at the blame for the one file listview.razor in particular. But when we looked at the commit for it, his name was not the commit in the default branch. His name was not on the commit. Now that probably happened because of a squash, but it should be there. I would think. So I'm not going to worry too much about it, but I am concerned that some folks in our community aren't getting credit for their contributions. Let me finish here. Down at the bottom is this pager, and somebody was trying to be cute here and add this if page index, don't make these previous and next buttons available. They're not being conditionally turned on and off, so I'm going to remove this test so that we can make it once again, while it isn't a great practice, I want to get it as identical to the web forms version as possible. How's it going, Gareth? So, I'm literally, this is demo code, and I'm trying to force a statistic. I'm going to make that statistic as close as possible. What are the minimum changes that somebody would have made to this code, to make this work? And I think that's a little bit better, a little bit closer. And when I look at this further, the code, there's code behind for this default ASPX over here, right? We have this partial class. Well, instead of having the code that manages the paging and things over here, let's move this code into a code behind as well, because this isn't what I'm trying to get folks to be able to reuse, right? A good chunk of this is the same, right? Pagination parameters are set, and I mean I could do some work to really get this working, but I don't think I need to. You know, I don't think I need to. And right, where is it? Product list, model. Yeah, that matches. So, friends, let me create a index razor CS, right? Index razor CS. Make this a partial class, right? And copy in. I should be able to copy in all of this. Because the tenets, right, the goals that we've been moving forward with on this project are, we would like, there we go, yes, and this we can include the view models, yes. I need that, Okay. So now it should continue to work, but I've moved the business logic behind. The tenets for the project that we've been working on, are that we would like you to be able to reuse your markup as much as possible. So we still have a page directive. We have to add our inject for the service. And actually, I can move that, can't I? Can't I? Right? Right, friends? Where'd it go? So catalog service isn't a thing yet down here, but I can make that a property, right? Catalog service, and I can make this, I can mark it as inject, right? And it should be made available to us. We're good. So now I've gotten rid of that top bit. I still need to have the content, because the web forms version lives inside of a master page. But this is now 131 lines, and over here I'm at 126, so there's a 5-line difference. I want to find that. PowerShell Freak asks, how am I doing? What workshops or guests do I have planned for the next streams? So I have, I do have folks from the .NET, the .NET Interactive team. They're the folks that are working on .NET inside of Jupyter Notebooks. I have them, hopefully joining us in the next few streams. I need to get back to them. We had a nice chat on Twitter. I've had some conversations with Martin Woodward about doing some GitHub actions and some GitHub discussions here on stream, talking about how we can use GitHub actions a little bit better with our projects. I think there's a great opportunity there to use GitHub actions to generate some of the documentation that we've been writing and move that over into a sample project as we check in things. And I do have the ASP.NET Core 3.0, 3.1 workshop. I do want to give that. I want to present that this month. I need to spend some more time finishing that migration. And I would like to circle back and do that before the end of March. You're going to see, shortly after we finish this stream, you're going to see an announcement go out from a bunch of the live coders with links for save the date for Live Coders Conf. We're going to run, the team is going to run a full day of content. You're going to see Chef Brent helping host with that. You're going to see some stuff from our friends at Content Lab. You're going to see some stuff throughout a full day of content. We're going to split the day. There'll be 4 hours in the morning, my time, East Coast time, 4 hours in the evening Pacific time, to try and make sure that you can see some live coder content, some folks speaking, teaching, no matter where you are in the world. You're going to see an announcement about that, and that's going to happen early in April. That event, we're really excited. The team is very excited about it. I'm proud of what they've been able to pull together. And I'm the founder of the team. I'm kind of nudging and offering insight here. Some folks are really doing a great job pulling stuff together. Lucky Number 7, Jitter Ted, Chef Brent, Robert Tables, Mary Jo Stabler, Liz, Illuminated Codes, really doing some great stuff to try and make sure that we have a nice cross section of live coders that you may have seen, you may not have seen. Some of these folks are well-seasoned speakers that we're going to see. We're going to finish up our content plan here over the next week or two. But and Lucky Number 7's doing a tremendous job with Chef Brent and some of the other folks to try and nail down what what the look and feel and the presentation and how we hand off, what that looks like. It's been a real team effort to try and put something together, and then we're gonna play some content, announce exactly who's speaking, and you're gonna be able to watch it all free live here on Twitch. It's some great stuff. And Blazor Mr. Magoo got our sample we just saw working with reflection. Oh man, that's so cool. Let me come back to this here. The tabs aren't lined up, and I don't want my statistic to be dinged because the tabs don't match. Let me do this. That, I believe, is right. Let's do this. Let me bring this back. Yeah, it was 2 tabs in. It should be 1, right? And I'm really trying to. I'm cheating here a little bit, trying to make sure that this matches. Right? Gosh, can I just... Oh, that's better. But see, this is all kind of wonking here. Because what I'd like to do is just run like a git diff against this and get this connected. .NET Core 3.1 I want to do before the end of March. That's my goal. Space Shot says, updated the WebAssembly project to Blazor WebAssembly 3.2 Preview 2, but oddly, the Before Web Forms project doesn't seem to restore NuGet packages. There is a flaw with that. The NuGet, the Before Web Forms project needs a NuGet config there. It's not saving files properly. And it's something that I ran into last night as I was working with this. Let me force that. And it was ugly. Really ugly. We should be able to address that though. So what I did so that you can see, let me, nope, not there. Where is it? I have to look around the camera. What I had to do was add I had to add a NuGet config. Where did I put it? I had the same problem here, actually. I had to add... There it is. A simple NuGet config that specifies that where the repository path is that you're writing content into. So somehow the SDK going back and forth between WebForms and Blazor and .NET Core, where you don't have a dedicated packages folder, was confusing and losing that location. So just a NuGet config, and it's this entry right here inside of configuration is where's the repository path. So that may not be restoring properly for folks. Thank you, Space Shot. I appreciate you taking a look. Eagle Hansen is here. Can never get that to compile when you work on the project. Yeah, it's the missing targets with this. I feel like we need a NuGet config file in there. And if Space Shot is taking a look at that, that'll be a huge help. Yeah, it's not just you. And the fact that it's trying... Right, this is weird. That Before Web Forms, the Before Web Forms project is not being referenced when you try and build the Blazor versions of the project, right? The Blazor samples. But for some reason, it still builds them. I don't know how it gets pulled into the reference tree, but it's there. It's weird. Okay. So I just did a quick format, just a straight format on these to try and get these. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Before Web Forms is not part of the build process. So you're okay, even if you did break that. I am using dark mode here. So And besides, if I wanted to go to light mode, I've got sunglasses to wear. It's 3.1.100. We may end up upgrading the SDK version to 3.1. I think it's 102 is the new patch version. The night light color shift. Oh, I know what you're saying. Yeah, there's down here in the Action Center, night light. Right, turn that on, and it makes it yellow. I guess that helps. I guess it helps. Sure. I don't want to change it for you out there, because if I'm in nightlight mode and you're in nightlight mode, it's going to get skewed and look really, really bad. Right? Right, there's a yellow tint on mine, and you're watching the video, and there's a yellow tint on it. It's going to start to look really bad. But good point there. Thank you. Okay, now how do I get a statistic out of this? The other sample that I was thinking about dropping in here, and it might be a little contrived, but I don't care. I'm trying to show the cool stuff that we've done. Would be to go and say, right? I could do something like databinder.eval, right? What isn't it? This, right? Name, isn't that the way it works? Right? Or is it something like container? Yeah, that's what it is, container. So here, right, I could make this and have it do the exact same thing. I could make this, right, databinder.eval, because we have a data binder. Right, sure, container, right, I can just pass. If I say container here, it doesn't know what that is. So, thank you for the follow. Oh, do nicer. Welcome in. It didn't tint for you. Really? Is that just a display thing when I turn on nightlight? Did that tint for you? Hey, Smap. Is that tinted for you? Not at all. Oh. So that's just doing that on my display, and OBS isn't picking it up. Interesting. All right. Right, data binder eval. What's the other overload? I think it's, yeah, with the format. All right. So if I passed in here container, right, and the name, right, container isn't a thing. We don't know what container is. So if we just change that to null, it should just work. Data binder's obsolete. But I have it. Right? It's more code that works and does the same thing. So if I run this version in WebForms, right? And this is garbage. You would never write code exactly, bounce back and forth between data binder and the strongly typed object. But to show that this is a feature that we have that converts and works, I think is a good thing for a demo, trying to show and prove out that, hey, these are features we've built. Except, why don't it? Yes, it has a thing with the name. It does. Not container. Is it supposed to be item? Is it item? Something like that? Is that the thing? Change that. Does that work? It might work. It could totally work. Right? Continue. Now it doesn't. List view data item does not contain a property. What? How am I? Come on now. Catalog item. Name. Name. That's a thing. What am I missing? Go back. No. Let's let's do this. Do it right. Bear. What am I wrong? Data binder eval. The syntax for this is right. Object container. Blah blah blah. And it's the same format everywhere. Data binder eval container.data item. Container data item. Right. And then the field name. And possibly a format, which we also support. So with that syntax changed, I can refresh and it'll work now, won't it? Yes. So there's the name, the description's the same, I don't care. But over here, when I do this in Blazor, it should also work. So let me scroll down. Here's the Blazor version. Debug, start, and I should get the name appearing here. I feel like maybe I need a container object that you can kind of mock over here. So let's see. Come on, Microsoft Edge. And here's my browser. Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
Do it live.
We're trying. Bill, we're trying. All right. So that data binder should work. And yes. And it matches. Okay. So I've got the exact same feature, right? This works. Container.data item isn't a thing. I could cheat and put a container object behind this. I could. I mean, it might be a little dishonest, but right? Yeah, protected class? Let's make it a private class. Container static class. Right? And this will have a property on it that is an object called data item. Let's make that static. Right? Why don't you like that? You better like that. So now, over here, I can make this. And it should still work. Hey, Matt the Waz, what's the application? So this is, what we're working on, Matt, is, this is a web forms project that is kind of the canonical shop storefront that many people build with ASP.NET. They build other applications that have create, read, update, and delete features. But this is very similar, and it's a storefront that we've converted and we have running in Blazor. And you can see it looks like a regular application, except it now says Blazor up at the top. If I go and also start the web forms version of this, but the goal that we've been working on here with our Blazor WebFormsComponents project is we want to have the exact same markup in both places. And there's some differences that we're going to run into where it's not quite the same. But when you put these two side by side, they look pretty good. There's it looks like we've got a width on the table not working quite right there, but when we scroll down to the bottom here, not bad, right? The previous button disappears over here. It doesn't disappear, it's still here. But that was that if statement that we cleaned up, that we removed.
Oh my.
Yeah, it's... So they look the same. How is... Right, this pager down here... I know. Oh, that code is in the code behind, isn't it? Yeah. right? Configure pagination, right? When it binds, it's setting the navigate URL, it's setting extra styles, and it's also setting the CSS class. I could move that in there. I don't think I should, though. You know? What do you think, chat room? Yeah, we're absolutely going to be showing this to Scott. Now, how do I compare these two so that I can show here's the changes that were made? Does Microsoft have a big enough room for all the Scots? Yes, they do. This is Matt asks, let me put the question up. This is a Blazor demo then. We're demonstrating something. Thank you for the follow. We're demonstrating this project that we've been working on where we've been building components that look the same as the web forms components, with the goal of being able to take your component and use the exact same markup that you have with some slight changes and be able to get it running in Blazor with minimal updates. And the updates that you're seeing, right? And the other benefit of getting it running in Blazor is, well, now I can edit. I can go back over to Ubuntu and I can edit over there, or I can be on a Mac and work over there, or I can deploy in a container. So there's a lot of reasons why we want to encourage folks to be able to use .NET Core. Blazor, and with this component model, means that we can minimize that conversion pain. So, this is pretty good. That is, I'm good with. The layout template, I really like to be able to default that, but we'll have to come back to it. And the item templates, I think we're in great shape with. Now that I've faked this out, right? This syntax, I'm okay with. That's kind of the price of admission, right? Being able to do that find and replace, that's easy. That's something that I think we can put together. And our friend Fanny Reinders, another member of the Live Coders team, has talked about writing a little tool to do that. To just do a quick find and replace so that it converts this syntax to that. So I'm demonstrating what the upgrade effort looks like. Not just what the upgrade effort looks like, but as Gareth is pointing out, the library we're making on stream, how we can minimize those changes, right? See, look, item price is identical except for changing those bee stings to this, right? Those bee sting tags. I do feel like a hyperlink control would go a long way here. Let me back this up so these line up. All right. And the pager isn't quite the same. If I were to update the pager, if I made these, the pagination next and pagination previous, if I made those as ref values, I could pass them around. Yeah, bee stings, right? Because they're yellow and black, right? And it kind of looks like a little stinger the way that it has a point on the end of it. So if I made those into a ref, right? And we had pagination previous. What would they be? What would the type be on those? Then I could move the on-click somewhere else. Right? So would it be, right, it's an HTML element? HTML. Thank you for the follow, Matt the Waz. Oh, appreciate you clicking through the follow button there, helping us reach our follower goal here. Very much appreciate that. Is it, can I make it an, no, it's not an anchor tag helper, right? If I want to capture that element, it's like an HTML something, right? It's not a string. String HTML nah, I don't think it's that. I don't know what it is. That was not the right button that I wanted, but it works nonetheless. So, Blazor at ref. Let's start here. Because I want to be able to... At ref is how you can create an ID for an element and capture a reference to that inside of something in C# that you can then interact with. So in web forms you had an ID for these that was made available to you as a C# developer to interact with. We can do the same thing with at, changing that to at ref. And in fact, you see I do that here on the list view up at the top because we interact with the product list on the other side. You wonder what happens to all those followers who are no longer watching Twitch. They are just there. Because at some point they may come back and they may want to see, oh, what's Fritz up to? Oh, I got a notification. But the at ref, when capturing component references, use a similar syntax to capturing element references. Wait. While capturing component references uses a similar syntax to capturing element references. I don't know. JF Aquino Jr. Just got it. Did you miss anything? What did you just get? Let me know. Those are the only places that the at ref is. Just got in. Ah, welcome in. We were able to figure out, our friend Blazor Mr. Magoo was able to figure out a way to redirect and intercept that parent reference that we were trying to build, and has a nice solution for us sitting out there in a pull request we're going to merge in. We have an initial sample that works, but I think we're going to merge a much more elegant solution here in a little bit. Let me put the clock up there. Oh my gosh. Wow. Passing HTML element references. Is this going to tell me how it does it? At ref and element reference. There we go. Oh, it's an element reference. All right. So if we make this element reference, right? And we call this pagination previous, just like it is up top there. At ref equals pagination previous, right? So we make this pagination previous, right? So now that's a thing that this should connect up to. No, it's right there. See, all right, we got it. So now if I don't care, if I want to interact with that, what can I do to it? No. Pagination previous. What can I do here? Nothing. And now I feel shame. Yes, there is a public repository for this. Actually, I have it open here. And, that's the GitHub. There's the project. Yeah, that element reference is for passing to JavaScript. But I want to pass it. I want to get that element. Get it. That's fine for JavaScript, but I want to reference it with C#. And I don't think we can. No. Yeah. Bummer. Alright. I'm not going to try and figure that out, because that's a little bit further than I want to go for this. If this were a hyperlink component, like over here, we could do it. We could do it. We'd be able to pass that ref around and interact with it. But I don't think that's something that we're going to land. Oh man, that's something we could hit really quick. I could build that component really quick, couldn't I? It's not too bad. Hold me back, Blazor, Mr. Magoo. Hold me back. Let me see if I drop. Right, so this isn't the same list view. In fact, let me delete it. Get rid of that. Because, right, this should be pulling in and using ours. Let me see if I can add a hyperlink real quick. Can we build something that quickly? I think we can. Here. Right. So the hyperlink has an ID, it has a run at, and a CSS class. And I don't think I need to add all that stuff. There is the nav link, and I think I don't want a nav link. If I used navlink, first off, the syntax isn't the same. Right? And we're going to want to output an anchor tag with an href that's going to be whatever the navigate URL is coming off of this there. So let's quick set up a parameter. It's a property, it's a string. Navigate URL. Right, so now I can say this is at, no. Really, you don't see that? Public, not static, string. String. Thank you. CSS class is a thing, so I'll put class here at CSS class. I'll add a parameter for that. This is a prop. It's a string. So I see those. What other feature do we need to add here? It has an ID. That's fine. We're going to ignore it. It has run at server. That's normally handled by the other components that we have. I don't care. I want it to just be there so that it works. I could capture it and do something with it, but I don't. You know what? I can eliminate these, can't I? Right? There's a link component in Blazor. Yes, you're right. There is. It's a nav link. But I'm trying to get hyperlink to match up here. Hyperlink has a capital L. This way we can go down here instead of these on clicks doing things, right? And when you look at what this method is, it does that. I can put the @ref on it and move it. Taishi, hello, welcome in. So right inside nav, I can now make this not hyperlink style. I can make this hyperlink, right? @ref equals, and it's not, it's a capital L. Pagination previous. Run @ equals server. And I should be able to copy that in the whole way across. Now, there is some content to this that I do need to make sure that I maintain. Hyperlink. Right, so I do need to have the render fragment for the child contents. Render fragment is just a block of HTML. So I need to make sure that I render that. Yeah. What do you think? You're from Japan? Well, welcome in, Taishi. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I have a keyboard command here. Keyboard. There we go. I'll tell you information about my keyboard. I pluralized child content, did I? Oh, thank you. It should be singular. There we go. And that's a standard thing inside of Blazor. You reference that and it's just available. So I think now I can set up a hyperlink property back here. I'll make that a protected hyperlink, and it was pagination previous. Pagination next. Now I've got those two, right? Make this. So, and I can wire up that on-click event elsewhere. Now it looks more similar, right? So on after render, right, there's this code over here for configure pagination. I should be able to use all of these. Actually, let's just copy in that method directly, because that might actually just work, right? So there is no get route URL. Clicky keys are really satisfying. I agree. There's definitely something about that. So we're actually not navigating, right? Instead, we're calling next. So instead of that, right? Can we wire up on click? Can we wire up click? No. It's like nerdy beatboxing. Yeah. That's a great way to put it. I don't want it to navigate. Maybe I don't use this. Well, I need this CSS styles, right? So let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. So now I'm setting the CSS styles. I'm okay with those. And I think I just want to wire up the previous and next. On click equals next. Does that work? It sure looks the same, and it'll show and hide them appropriately the same way. Let's see if it works. I think we've got it. No, we broke something. Element reference to hypercomponent link. No, I changed it. Pagination previous is here. Thank you for the follow, Taishi. I appreciate you joining us, Taishi. Thank you for tuning in. I think that feels like an issue with the compile. Let me rebuild, clean that render out. Where is it getting this? No. That code isn't here. See? Looks like Twitch changed their UI and your script to auto-collect Fritz bits has stopped working. Ah ha ha ha! No more cheating. Let me see if I close and restart. I have a feeling that something is right, the rendering of those Razor components just isn't right. Let's try and rerun that. See if we can get this. Come on. Come on. Okay. Index Razor. It's going to parse and re-render all of my Razor at this point. See how it has the red underlines? It's because it's still parsing it. That's what's going on over here on the ready thing. It's parsing it. See, now everything turned turquoise here. You can see that it's actually found the things now. So now if I go, let's do debug start here. Oh, are you kidding? Don't tell me it's those. Where the heck is it getting these? No, that's not a thing. That code isn't in here anywhere. So where is it running into this? Pagination next and pagination previous are right there. Yeah, line 1 errors. And yeah, I get frustrated and annoyed with this as well. It is. It is very... Oh, look at that. That's some jank. I completely agree. Right? So I've deleted what's in the obj debug folder. Let me go over to bin. Now I'm going to build inside that Razor file, and it should build it. It's an error so bad it can't determine line numbers. You're not wrong. Nope. What do we have in the output? There. 112. 120. That's not line 1. There. But there is no code block here. Look in the Razor GCS, says Blazor Mr. Magoo. Let's take a look-see. Pages, index, Razor GCS. This is the file that's generated by the Razor engine. Div class, div class, div class, hyperlink. MBB! Thank you so much.
Boy just resubscribed for 9 months. Sorry for being MIA for a while.
Not a problem.
This stream is doing fantastic today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, MBB. Appreciate you joining in 9 months. That's going to put you in a green subscriber badge hat. Thank you so much. Yeah, I just deleted bin and obj, and I don't see it referencing. Where's it doing catching the ref? There's the run at CSS class. Add element capture, reference capture. Pagination previous equals value right there. That's the only place it's referenced. And pagination previous is right there. Green hats for everybody, yes. Right, so even if I do a rebuild over here, it doesn't whack those folders. Oh, wrong file. Sure. Let's see, can we get it this way? See, it already detects, look at that. Double reference. I'm going to comment these ones out for right now. Take care, Eagle. Good to see you. Yeah, still, even though it's declared right there, And this is properly referencing it. Close the file and reopen it. Sure. Okay. That's a better error. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. No, they're not of type element reference. They're of this is a component. Yes, I have poker chips that I shuffle. And you can't see, some of them are green, but I shuffle poker chips when I get frustrated and I'm thinking. I have 10 of them that I shuffle. So half of them are black, half of them are green. And after I think it's 4 shuffles, they flip. Green that was on the bottom will be on the top. And the other way around. Poker at TwitchCon. Maybe we shall. Maybe we shall. And you've seen how much I drink. There will be no taking advantage of that. If I change the markup to hyperlink and it stays green, yeah, it's caching somewhere. Somewhere it's being cached. I already tried restarting Visual Studio, but let's do it again. I'm gonna go to my let's just whack option bin entirely. Right? Make sure Visual Studio is completely closed. None of the background stuff is working. It's not in here. Okay. And the last question that we need to answer is, how do we get a comparison? How do we rename, right? How do we compare the code and get a % change between the two files? Okay. No, you can't plan for this when somebody says, how long to build a hyperlink feature? Bang. You son of a gun. That cache is somewhere. And it will not release it. And, right, if I get rid of these, does not exist. I've flubbed. Okay. And that's these markups. Alright. So let's just change these. And call this page previous. TBD Gamer, hello. No, they don't need to be element reference. So those are matching. Okay. Brave Cobra, hello, hello. Nope. $112 and $120. It's those two. That's messed up. Totally messed up. I'm going to revert those. Get it to build. Build succeeded. No. No. Oh, that stinks. Oh my gosh, that would have been amazing to get that working that way, but it's not going to. I'm not going to fight it any further. I've got to bail on this. I don't have time. Let me change this nav back to the way that I had it. So this you can find out on my GitHub. eShop Blazor. So what we're trying to do here, J.A. Tim, what we're trying to do is we're trying to show how easy it is to convert from web forms to Blazor. And we're in particular using a series of components that we've been building on stream that mimic the existing web forms components, web forms controls, so that you can have the exact same markup work in both places. So I'm going to let me just copy the entire pager. Copy that over. And that should just work. I got rid of configure pagination, so we don't need that anymore. Build succeeded, and we should be able to see that running right now. What's your clip, Mr. Magoo? Which one is that? Yeah, component reference and the element reference getting confused. There's something there that feels broken in the framework. There we go, and it works. Okay. All right. So lastly, what can we do to compare these two files and get some sort of a statistic as to similar and change? Compare two files. File compare from the Windows command prompt. Great command tool can be used to compare files to see if there are any content and we'll compare the contents. You could see that it uses tool to display any lines that do not match up. Is it going to give me a percent similarity? Is FC just available? Let's take a look-see. This is eShop Blazor, right? What's the folder I want? Source. That one. Can I just do FC? Is that a thing? Ooh, maybe it is. Okay. So I'm going to give it two file names. I want its pages index. Let me go up. So if we say eShop Blazor pages index.razor, and the other one we're going to compare is eShop Legacy Web Forms default ASPX. No. Really? Okay, so you showed me the two files. Now what? There's a diff tool in Linux, so you always keep a WSL handy. Compare two text files using file compare. What are the switches? Thanks. What are the switches? Perform a binary comparison if you need to do case insensitive. So let's use a -C. Make FC only show the first and last line. To compare files as Unicode. No. CL. And W. CLW. And it's not telling me. I'd like to... I want to get a comparison. I want to get a percentage. Notepad++. Online diff tool that can find the difference between two text. I want a... What does WinDiff do? Yeah, there's FC to compare to ASCII or binary files. Eh. What happens with this online tool? Paste that in there and over here. I'm not sure what it's showing me here, but no. WinMerge. I'd like to get a percentage. Yeah, how about WinMerge? Does it show you how similar the difference is? Let's give this a try. Yes, download starts shortly. Folks like WinMerge I'm seeing in chat. Let's give this a shot. See if we can generate some numbers out of this. Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead, do it. Do it. Checking my schedule. Alright, I've got time. Got about 10, 15 minutes. Sure. Yeah, fine. Go. Okay, next. Yes, please launch. Okay. I asked you to launch. Where is it? There it is. Alright. We're going to open first file. cdev eShop Blazor. I'm going to grab here. This one. Pages. Index. Second file is going to be Legacy Web Forms. Default. Okay. Thank you for the follow. DNS flushed. Welcome in. Yeah, it's not seeing these lining up exactly. The empty data template. See this? I want to get it to ignore I want to ignore white space. WDiff in Linux will give me percentages. Yeah, I want to ignore spacing. Where is that? I don't want to copy. Compare. Ignore blank lines. Case. I don't see space here. Right, some of these we know are identical, and it's marking as completely different. What do you got there, Degs? Options compare. Tools, where was options? Compare, yeah. And in the frame, white space. Oh, ignore all. Better. Much better. See, run at server, item type equals... Oh, because it doesn't have the thing on the end, it goes context item. It's showing that as a difference. Right, and these are the ones that we kind of expect. Right? There's the hyperlink thing that I was trying to fix. It's, so... Embryo 0. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Let me try that WDiff over in Linux. See what number it can give me. Where did Linux go? Here. I'm just downloading the file to compare, so I don't care that it's eShop Blazor. I don't care that it's web forms, and we won't be able to edit it. I'm just trying to get a copy. Right? Let me see. Let's go back over here. Quit this. Git clone. Okay. There we go. Git branch -r will show me the remotes. Git checkout track origin after web forms components. Okay. So now I have this. So now I can run that wdiff command. wdiff-s, and we're going to reach. Let me go into the source folder so I don't have to navigate as far. wdiff-s, and we're going to go eShop legacy default ASPX, and the other one is going to be eShop on Blazor pages index razor. Fine. That's the wrong password. There it goes. %, common, 6% deleted, 50%, 56% changed. Wait a sec. Where did all this come from up top here? Are we comparing? Right? Look, what's all this up here that it's looking at? This code, I had moved. Okay, hang on. Let me add all of these because I don't have it all there. Made Blazor more similar to web forms, and I'll push that change up. Pull it back down, and it is a pretty high number. 64%. And it still has, look, it still has the thing on, okay, well, the code bit at the bottom was removed. Is it ignoring space? Ignoring the spaces? Is that what the -s is doing? Statistics. I want to tell it to ignore space. Ignore case. Do not extend. Yeah, 64% common. Let's do this. eShop. Default is there. 3382. eShop. That's not it. On Blazor pages. 2530. So we have 65% common we've been able to reuse. And a good bit of that is because of the @ sign. I can justify, I can explain this. Alright. So I have a direction to go with this. I have some numbers that I can show on this. And we've cut the size of the file by 25%. Seems like just having a graphic with the changes highlighted might be a more attractive option. So let me get your opinion, chat room. Something that I have written is this bit right here. Showing here's the difference between the two. Right. So, and especially if I turn off the marker there, right? This gets removed, this gets converted to this. We add context. This changes to that. These get replaced and turn into those. And that. Done. So I think that's a better representative of this. I think I'd go with this original piece that I have here, and I can show it running. I don't need to explain the changes. The folks I'm showing this to know what these things are. They're very familiar with what it is. I was hoping to be able to put a number with this to show what is highlighted, what isn't. Because I've clearly called this out. What's the difference between the two? Oh wait, look, I actually have an extra row in here. The ID's on this side and it's not over there. Right? And this one wraps. Oh heck. Put the ID back in there. Get rid of this one so that it lines up better. Right? And I think we're in good shape then. Let me put the run at equals server back in here also. I'm still on. Wrapping up. Okay. I think that's what we're gonna go with. Missing closed table on the right. Yes. Good point. Okay, so that, and I need to put an extra, I think it's a carriage return. There we go. Yeah. Let me go with that. Yeah. You wish there was more documentation like this? It is the same font height. The column placement looks weird in Word like this, but I'll copy this over, put it into PowerPoint, and it'll look better. I'll get these to line up better. This and this, I feel like I could put a carriage return there but it kind of throws off, right? Now they're right next to each other. That's better. That's better. Okay. Well, that's where I want to leave off today, friends. We've done a lot today. And I think we've got some good justification, some good demonstration that shows you can take your web forms code there on the left, convert it to Blazor code on the right, and some of these things are simple find replace changes that we can write some code, we can write a little tool to replace. Clearly the bee sting notations right here can be converted to ats, right? The IDs can be converted to ref entries up top, and we should be able to get some of this to run a little bit better, right? We might even be able to do a little bit there with the item placeholder, right? Getting rid of that tr run at item placeholder, turn that into an at item placeholder, and put an appropriate context on the element. There's definitely stuff we can do here to make this easier, faster. You get rid of that ASP colon on the control references also. But this is what I'm going to pitch, what I'm going to show, and where I think we can justify, we can show folks there's something coming here that we can really work with and turn into. And I think I still think those hyperlinks that were at the bottom, there's a way for us to do that in a concise manner that we'll be able to reuse and have that hyperlink feature work in Blazor as well. So maybe we need to add the hyperlink to our collection to address. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I'm going to archive this video. Will be over on YouTube. I've been pushing a lot more videos over there. We're going to be pushing more all week long. I've got some updates coming over there. We're gonna update the intro, the welcome video on YouTube, and I'm gonna write an intro video for this project. I'm actually gonna record an intro for it shortly after we're done here. Edit that, and that'll be over on YouTube in the next few days as well. All right, friends. Let me see who we can raid out there. Who is ripe for the raiding? You know what I'm saying? Is that a thing? Ripe for the raiding? For some reason, why isn't this? My one stream deck isn't showing here at all. Hello? Why aren't you lit up? It's misbehaving. Right? We getting... No. I don't get it. You know what? That's not a bad idea. Let's raid our friend... I don't see him. Let's raid our friend Code Rushed. And I don't have my intro music here that I can reach into because that stream deck is off. That has the intro music. Oh no. Yeah, what the heck? And I've got too many of these things. And now I've overloaded circuits. And I don't get it. There it was. Come on back online. Little stream deck. There it is. Yeah, let's get over to Code Rushed. Go say hello to him. Thank you so much, friends. If you're a subscriber, I want you to copy this line onto your clipboard. Get ready to announce ourselves. If you're not, copy the second line. We're going to get over there. We're going to say hello to our friend Code Rush. That's Mark Miller. And he's working on some amazing things with TypeScript and SignalR. He continues to build this Dungeons and Dragons management application over there. It's really, really neat. He's done some tremendous things with TypeScript, JavaScript, and images. So check it out. Get ready to say hi to Mark, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care.